Okay, so Walid, really, really nice today. This is probably my favourite setup for Metropole Live because we've got you and we've got Mum and Dad in the studio, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, you're going to tell us about, well, we've got more of an inclusion focus on diabetes coming up, haven't we? So we're going to know lots about diabetes, but why are you the best person in the school for me to talk to about that?
Because I be friend with my diabetes.
Fantastic. So, my first question is really simple for you, Walid. Can you tell us what diabetes is?
Diabetes is if you eat a lot of sugar, you will get it.
Okay. And what else does it do in any way? Do you know anything else about diabetes you can tell us about?
The sugar.
It's all to do with sugar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you look after yourself, thinking about sugar, those kind of things?
I don't eat a lot of sweets.
Okay. Any reason why you don't eat lots of sweets?
Because my sugar will raise very
okay.
high.
Okay, so we have different levels of sugar, do we?
Yeah.
So if we said that yours are going to raise, is it better to have your sugars low?
When my sugar is low, I eat sweets, but when it's high, I do some exercise or I drink water.
Clever. So it's about trying to get the levels where you want them, isn't it?
Yeah, it can. The grey one is the good sugar.
Very good. Do you know how you check your levels or how you know? Because I can't just, I don't know, shake my arms and know what my levels are like, can I?
No.
How do you check your levels?
On my phone, I check it all the time.
Perfect. It's really sensible. It's amazing that you can be in charge of all of this yourself. Really, really impressed.
Yeah.
What do you want your teachers to know about your diabetes?
I think, and I don't know what they think, but I think they like my diabetes.
They like it. I'm sure they like it. Definitely. You're so good at controlling it as well and having so much knowledge about your own diabetes and how to regulate and look after yourself. It's really impressive. I think actually things that you want your teachers to know would be probably around just if you need to go and check your levels, things like that there's not an issue, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah? And what else can we tell? When might your levels go low?
When my sugar is low, I eat some sweet sugar.
Okay. And why might your levels go high?
I do exercise and drink water.
Very good. You can see how you know so well how to regulate it.
Yeah.
What do you want your friends to know about diabetes?
To help me.
How can they help you? Is there any ways, Walid?
If I don't feel well.
Yeah, and do you know what would be a really good strategy is if you don't feel well, who do you think they should probably tell?
The nurse.
The nurse or the teacher straight away, wouldn't they? Because we're talking all the time about how well you are at regulating your levels, but sometimes it might just be a bit out of our control, mightn't it?
Yeah.
So if you let your teachers know, if your friends let the teachers know, they're going to let the nurse know, aren't they?
Yeah.
How do doctors help you with your diabetes?
They help me. They help me take insulin before I eat lunch.
Ah, very clever. And is that how they help you at school as well? How does the school help you with your diabetes?
The school help me my diabetes with the sugar.
Yeah.
And I do also a blood test the finger.
Ah, so that helps you with knowing about your levels, does it?
Yeah, if my sugar's wrong.
Perfect. You know so much about this, Walid. So I'm going to ask Mum and Dad some questions, okay?
Yeah.
Who should we ask the first question to? Should we ask it to Mum or Dad?
I think my dad.
To your dad, okay. So how did you find out that Walid first had diabetes? Were there symptoms or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we noticed like he's been drinking a lot of water, going a lot to the toilet, and he started to be quite edgy, crying for even small topics. So we run to the pharmacy. We read about it, and we went to the pharmacy. We got this blood test machine, and his blood sugar was super high. We did the test several times, and then we called the family doctor, and she told us to rush to the hospital immediately because it was extremely high.
It must be quite a shock as well, because it's not something that you expect in some ways, is it? It's did you have certain steps you had to follow, like the initial steps when you found out that Walid was diabetic?
Yeah, first of all, we try to find a doctor can help us with this, and of course we went to the hospital immediately, and when we told her about the symptoms, so immediately she knew that he had we call it type 1 diabetes, and it comes most of the time for little kids from 1 month old to almost 9 or 10 years old. So and yeah, he stayed 2 days in the hospital, and they were trying to control his sugar and also the ketone. And the ketone, it's something makes the blood toxic,
Yeah.
and it can affect some organs in his body for the long term. So we try to control all these things. And the educator, she started teaching us about diabetes and about what kind of food he's supposed to eat, and also we met the nutritionist, and yeah, it was lots of training for us also to know more about diabetes. And also she told us about the sensor that he attached to his arm, and this sensor can monitor his blood sugar, and it's right away it sent all the sugar number to the mobile, an app, the mobile, and can tell us when the sugar is high and when it's low, and all the details.
It's come on so far, the technology for diabetes now.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
even the school, they have an access to the app, so the nurse can see if it's going up or down. Hospital as well, me and Hala. So it helps. So the key thing in diabetes is to control it.
Yeah.
And the type 1 is nobody's fault. Type 1 is an autoimmune disease that could affect anybody, especially young kids. And you ask a question, how did we feel? So we felt that it's not happening to us. You know, we felt like, no, it's not our kid, it's not us, but again, it is what it is. So we had to adjust, to adjust to the new normal. And any help was important. And I think the most important thing is because Walid spent most of his time in school. So for us, it was very important to get the support from the school.
Definitely, and making sure everything's in place, making sure that even things like his apps working around the school and those things as well is vitally important. But we talked about the main thing is making sure he knows his levels and is regulating. You can tell from all of his answers he's constantly sure, and I think that technology side of it now is such a relief, isn't it? As opposed to taking lots of kind of injections to get it.
I have to say to face diabetes, it takes team to face it. So it's parents, hospital, doctors, and I think most importantly schools, because how Walid integrated in his new life in school was so important. And I think a school plays really a huge role to ease the stress on parents and on Walid himself. And I think we've been in the right place during these tough times.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm just want to ask the parents to take care of their kids. If they notice anything unusual, they have to check whatever it is, because sometimes we used to ignore, or not ignore, but just to say no way, because we know some symptoms about diabetes and we used to see it and say, no, I don't think so, you know, he's still young and all this stuff. And then when we decide to do that, we were like almost 90% sure that this is diabetes, and when we checked, it was definitely.
And we were lucky to go to hospital and to discover it, because it could
Yes.
have been
Definitely.
a tragedy if anything's happened.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's not something to mess around with by long shots, is it? No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. So let's the parents be aware of this, and to see their kids notice if they're tired, if they have black under their eyes. You know, they drink lots of water. They go to washroom a lot.
Mm.
You know, even if they feel pain, tummy pain,
Mhm.
this is also one of the high
Symptoms.
symptoms. Yeah. So yeah, I wish like all the
Yeah.
kids will be to have a good life and healthy life.
Yeah.
And actually, also I'm thankful for Walid, like he let us, you know, taking care of ourselves also, and our food, and
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
like
We have
our
a better
lifestyle.
diet now because
Yeah.
of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our lifestyles changed, not only for him, even for us,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which is good. And yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
convenient out here to not eat well. I
Yeah.
think and it's actually
You know,
gives
we,
you that.
and we were amazed with the things that you can find in the supermarket, and things
Yeah.
they put in the food. Now we calculate carbs, and you see things which are like complete diet, and the carbs are super high, and
Yeah.
it's not good. Huh?
Yeah.
So I think we are blessed now that we have a much healthier life, and we are blessed to have Walid, because Walid matured
Yes, he
so
is.
fast in the last few months.
Yeah.
And I think he's managing himself quite well, and he knows what is right, what is wrong. You know, it's very touchy when you have a cake in front of your son, and your son is telling you, "No, I'm not gonna eat cake because it's not good for me now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah.
He's a credit to both of you. He's an exceptional student, lovely member of our community, aren't you, Walid?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Walid, can you show me how you check your levels? If you had your phone, pretend where you have your phone.
Can you show your shield that you have?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, can you
So
show it
nice.
to the
I like it.
camera? Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh.
Can you
Stand
stand
up.
up? Yeah, here you go.
That's great, isn't
So
it?
that's your sensor, and this one is linked to the.
And then what would you do with your phone?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
So?
is how my sugar.
Yeah. Can we see it?
Is that the graph, is it?
Yeah. Can you point it on the camera?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
there you go. Very
Yeah.
nice. That's really clever, isn't it? So that says, I can see that says 79. Is that a number you're happy with?
Yeah, but it is going down.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know what you're doing, don't you? You're in complete control.
Yeah.
Thumbs up, Walid. You're doing brilliant. Well done. Right.
This is
Thank you
that.
so
All
much
right.
for coming in. So much, all three of you.
Thank you for
Ah,
having us,
thank
and
you.
we're very happy to share our experience,
Yes.
and to make an awareness about type 1 in particular, and we hope all families and friends to stay safe and healthy.
Definitely.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you for
guys.
having
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you,
Really
Walid.
appreciate it.
Bye.
Have
There
a
you
lovely
go.
day.
Brilliant. Thank you
Yeah?
so much. I
Was
think
it
that'll
okay?
be really useful.
Yeah?
Oh, really
Yeah.
good.